What's up, guys? My name is Colin Moriarty. I'm editor of IGN PlayStation. I'm here with the illustrious, the esteemed Seth Killian from Sony, and he's here to show us the brand new DLC for PlayStation All-Stars. Seth, thank you for joining me.
It's my pleasure.
So what are we seeing here? We're seeing two new characters that I think might surprise people.
Yeah, you're seeing brand new characters for PlayStation All-Stars. We've got Issac Clarke, of course, from the Dead Space franchise, and Zeus, who I like to say is, I guess you could say he's from God of War, but he's also from a few sort of books and bits that you might have heard of that go back a few thousand years.
From antiquity, perhaps.
Yes.
We should be clear that we're playing in practice mode on a brand new stage, which is a crossover of MediEvil and the Unfinished Swan. But I'm going to only control Zeus and then Issac just a little bit. You're going to kind of show off the movesets. If you need to do something, you're
going to run through some of the moves, show you what they've got, a little bit of what they're capable of. And in practice mode, this stage won't fully transform, so you can see some of the elements that are here. We've got a Gargoyle that in a match from MediEvil, you may remember some wisecracking Gargoyles. The Gargoyle is actually a nice touch. He has specific lines for everyone in the cast, so he'll taunt them all in unique ways. You've got the zombies popping up there in the background. That one was destroyed by the statue before he could really appear. They'll be impaled on the stage as well. So some nice MediEvil touches from the graveyard stage, which is the beginning of MediEvil. And you'll see a whiteout here in the stage, and then it'll transition to the Unfinished Swan if we're out of practice mode, and some new elements will emerge via ink spotting, the primary mechanic in Unfinished Swan. So you see the castle, you see a little bit of the labyrinth over there in the background in the right corner, you see the king statue, you get the little tracks here in the background from, or in the foreground rather, from the Swan himself, who also does a few flybys. There's a zombie lumbering around who can they'll eject a huge amount of AP if they're destroyed. There's the Swan by the statue, so keep an eye out for that. And then this is what the whiteout looks like, but because we're in practice mode, those new elements won't yet appear. But enough about the stage, which has a bunch of cool stuff in it. It's all about Issac Clarke. This is, I think, a really strong mid-range fighting character. I would say he's, in terms of playstyle, like somewhere between Jack and Drake in terms of our game, but just like in Dead Space, you have some moves up close, but you basically want to keep the opponent. He's most effective sort of at mid-range. So standard on your neutral circle, you've got your plasma cutter, and you can fire that multiple times by hitting the button multiple times, and you can also advance while you're doing it, or of course, more commonly, as you see in Dead Space, you're running away and firing plasma cutter to try and get away. So that's a nice little technique he has, and it's, of course, very useful in All-Stars, where you'll sometimes see a group of enemies fighting somewhere, and you want to stay a little bit away from them. You don't want to necessarily get right into the fray. So he's got that going for him. And he's also got these melee attacks. That's a swipe, and then you can combo it into a stomp and a quick kick. He's also got sort of a quick uppercut there. These are all square attacks. And he can follow that with a quick ground slam, or let's see if I can combo this if I'm clever. You can also combo it into different kinds of stuff. That's just a little baby combo. We'll get to some more fun stuff that I'm sure I will screw up as we go forward. But of course he has some melee attacks there, but he really gets interesting when he starts to use some of his other weapons. So he's got his stasis attack that you can follow up. You remember that from Dead Space, of course, the stasis and kinesis. He uses the kinesis for some of the throws. You could throw you around with that, or do a little combo after that, or bounce you off the wall and eject. And I'll show you one other really unique thing he can do with this throw that no other character can do. If you give me a bolt with Zeus, which should be on neutral triangle, I will try and reflect it back at you by using my throw. And I can also reflect it in multiple directions, so I can reflect it up or down, as the case may be.
Yeah,
so that's very cool. Since this is a primarily flat stage, at least at this point, reflecting down, not so cool. But there's plenty of places where you'll be on platforms and whatnot where reflecting projectiles down can be very cool. And it also doubles as his throw. So if people happen to be close by to you, they'll get tossed. If they're shooting projectiles at a range, he can reflect them in different directions depending on the input of the stick. So that's something very unique to him. But let's get to some of his other moves. So in addition to the stasis, he's also got the force gun. It can knock you on your ass and do a little bit of comboing after that. He's got the chain gun, which is good for anti-air, basically. Let's see what else we have here. Stasis in the air, chain gun in the air, and this. He's got basically this little flamethrower here which can hit up to 3 times and combo all the way to the ground. Again, on the ground, not that great, but if you're on a platform trying to aim down at opponents who are down below you, which is often the case, that's a very handy move, and it also is basically his best approach for like a general jump in. You can keep comboing you and then go into there, or go into a lot of different attacks from there. It gives you a good amount of hit stun. So those are basically his triangle attacks. Circle attacks are a lot of fun. That's one of my favorites, but we'll get there in a minute. This is a little grenade launcher. You see that fly down. You can combo that as well. And we'll do some more fun stuff with this as it goes on. It's one of my favorite combo enders, as you'll see, and just a good general tactic, just to sort of relatively safe. Just fire those in at people. It has a little bit of duration on the ground before it explodes. He's also got a Plantable Mine, which will explode on impact. You can also, I'll show that in a minute, but you can also plant the mines. It's not going to stick onto that wall, but you can plant the mines on the wall, and they'll have sort of a horizontal sort of hit detection there, so you can plant them in sort of funny places. I also forgot his down punch. He's got the ground. It's not the eviscerator. Differentiator? I'm forgetting my Dead Space terms.
I don't know.
The ground.
Something
It's not disintegrator, but it's something. Oh, you hit the mine there. I did plant it on the wall. But, yeah, you can pound on the ground, and if you get a little bit of distance, you get a little bit more of an eject there. And so that's a nice move to come down into groups with if you're just worried about getting everybody off you. So that was also on square, sort of a melee attack. But so you've got your force gun, you've got your stasis, and yes, you can combo those. You've got that. And then on circle, yeah, got the grenade launcher. We've got the mine. And this is my favorite.
Yeah, so I remember when you first showed me the DLC a while ago that the way you use this blade gun is pretty awesome, especially with combos.
Yes, this is a fantastic. This is a Ripper blade, of course, using a little bit of the kinesis to give it a spin and some nastiness. You can use this in the air. You can use it on the ground. It won't come out if there's another one on the screen. You have to wait until it ends, but especially on tall guys like Zeus. Let's see if I can hit you right in the head with it. Yeah, it'll just keep you bouncing there for a while, but you can. I'll show some more interesting combos with him here in a minute. But that's a really great move to sort of fire into a crowd and then follow it in, because they'll be juggled on it for a couple of times. And I'll show you some of the fun stuff you can do with that. But anybody that's familiar with All-Stars will realize the value of this move. That just sort of, you can hurl into a crowd. It comes out pretty fast. It does have a hitbox all the way in front of it. And you can do a lot of interesting things to follow that up. So that's definitely one of my very favorites.
It must be crazy on that the plane Uncharted
yes,
stage in the very beginning.
That's a rather good move in that plane space. I think you'll see some of that in the video we put together to try and demo, and we actually went straight there, and that was the first move we did, is just chucking that into a group of opponents that have nowhere to run. So it's really strong. But then one of my other favorite weapons, which doesn't look like a lot, is the bouncing bola. So basically, this is just sort of a shot, and you can aim it. You can aim it up. You have a little bit of, and so not very impressive. But what it does is actually bounces off walls. So we don't have a lot of platforms here yet in this level, but you can bounce it off walls, and actually each time it reflects, it will become more and more powerful. So I can do. Let me jump up here. So you see, you get a much bigger hit reaction. That was on 2 bounces. If it hits on 1 bounce, it'll basically knock the opponent down. You can sometimes pick up a combo off that, but it's a really neat weapon to be able to fire. I mean, it does, it's decent if it just shoots you, and it's a good range tool. But if you can bounce off the ground like that, oops, it ran out of range. Oh, it bounced on
I like
funny
his ability
curve on the floor.
The hover ability is kind of cool there too. So can he use that with all of the, like, just generally? Is that only for that specific attack, like when he's jumping up and coming down slowly?
Yeah, so basically that attack causes him to freeze in the air like that, or holds his momentum there a little bit. And you just see his boots firing on his double jump, but that's just a little touch. Another interesting little touch that the team put on Issac, which is you'll rarely see. It's funny to see Issac from the side like this, because of course in Dead Space you're always looking at him from the back,
right.
In the third-person kind of view. You'll actually see his indicator there on the back of his suit. Is green right there, sort of along the spine, and in Dead Space that indicates health. In All-Stars, it's actually going to reflect your relative position in like a free-for-all match, or in any other game type. So if you're in first place, it's green, and then it'll go to yellow if you're not in first place, second or third, and if you're in last, it goes to red.
Awesome,
so
that's very cool.
Not a big deal, but a nice little nice little way to track and
yeah,
just a nice little dead space touch. But yeah, you can sort of put all this stuff together. So again, he's sort of most effective at this kind of range where he wants to sort of be keeping you out and throwing stasis shots. From up close, he's got the force gun, which is a good get-off-me kind of thing. But then you can sort of start to put it all together. So let's see if I can put any of this together into a combo. So let me see what we can do here. Oh, I missed with the last grenade. But there's, yeah, so you can do things like knock him down, stasis, blade, and then I'm too slow with the grenade, but you can catch him with the grenade.
That's still pretty devastating, though, as it is.
Yeah, no, you can get that would be what we call the eject combo. So, of course, if you reach the 130 AP marker, the opponent is automatically ejected to avoid infinite combos or just truly ridiculous combos. And you'll be able to, if I string that all together, that is actually an eject combo. So I'll give it one more shot here. Oh, I missed with the grenade.
Just a little, yeah, just
otherwise,
a little
he'd
short.
go flying away into space. I think he might be getting caught on the top of the tomb there. But he's got some great combo stuff like that. One of my favorites is you throw the blade out and he gets caught in it, and then you can follow it up with the force blast to basically knock him back into it, and you can keep that going as well with.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I can go do bow. I missed with the grenade, man. That's the bane of my existence, missing with the grenade. But you can do all sorts of cool combos. And in fact, you can even... Oh, I missed it. But if you're very tight with the timing there, you can keep him bouncing on a second blade like that and do some really creative stuff, as well as pretty good crowd control. One of the liabilities, some of the other more combo-heavy characters, I'd say he's sort of a middling combo character where he's got some good combos. He's not all about them. Again, he prefers to keep his range and be hitting you with the Ebola shot and things like that. Not Ebola. But, and I'm not picking up this AP on the ground because I'm already at level 3. So should we start with the level 3 and go? I don't know. It's sort of anticlimactic.
Yeah, it is. Well, can we reset it to level 1?
Let's go down to level 1. So let me go over here, and I'll force the super level to level 1. He's actually got a really interesting level 1, and it's good against multiple characters in one sense. So I'll show you how it works. Basically, he'll fire off a stasis shot, and then he overcharges the plasma cutter. So there's the stasis shot, and the plasma cutter will fire off a beam after that. But what you can do is after the stasis shot goes, you can actually aim this anywhere, and it has huge range. So it'll actually go pretty much full screen. And also, the longer you charge it, the more you see the burst is glowing. Basically, the hit impact, if you just shoot it right away, it'll kill one guy, maybe two if he's right on top of somebody else. But if you're able to find time to charge it all the way, or you get everybody running around and charge it to full blast, you'll be able to catch a lot of people in that explosion, even at level 1. So the stasis, the other thing I like to do with it is use it as sort of crowd control. So maybe someone's coming in and there's 2 people, and I know the super will only really take out one easily. Freeze one, aim up high, pop that guy. Well, this guy's frozen and unable to hurt me. So you can get a little bit of crowd control. It's a really interesting level 1.
Yeah, it's clever.
A lot of range on that, so I think that's going to be a really useful one. And now let's show his level 2, where basically he takes his kinesis module and puts it into overdrive. He likes to overcharge things. This is a good sort of crowd control. If you caught up in the mix, people are swarming you, bam, fire this off. Creates this field, and I use the cheesy phrase, it fires people away at terminal velocity.
Oh, that is a little corny, but
sorry.
It's kind of in the same spirit as maybe some of Cole's.
Yeah,
Cole's,
very much so. It happens a little faster. It's got a nice area of effect. It's a solid level 2. Obviously, not a huge range on that. You'll miss from here, I think. Oh, I still got him. So a decent range actually on that. Mostly in the front, a little less in the back. Not much of a hitbox below him as well. So if you're standing on a platform, the kind that would appear if this was not training stage, which we'll show in a minute. But let's get to his level 3. It's one of my very favorites. This one we just call Dead Space. And All-Stars is no stranger to the zany. So here we are in MediEvil crossed with Unfinished Swan. And for his level 3, we will go to space.
Awesome.
And he fires, blows the hatch there and sucks you see all the opponents get sucked out into space. And then here we are playing a game of something very like asteroids. And I can pick people off and fire at space debris as well. And you will be hit by space debris and bounce off it.
So I can move him around a little bit, but
yeah,
not very
you do
quickly.
have a little bit of ability to float in space. Issac, of course, is faster and has full screen shots that goes. So I think that's a pretty strong level 3. I can blow up the space debris, and the red ones will also blow you up if you're too close to them. But you have a little bit of control, so you're not totally hosed. It's not like Hayachi strapping you to a rocket and just automatically killing everybody. You do have a little bit of ability to control your own fate during Isaac's level 3, but he definitely has the advantage, and you're going to be looking anywhere from 3 to 6 kills with that super if you're fast.
Awesome.
So, again, very strong. Really interesting character with a little bit of unusual projectiles. He was too low there. And, yeah, you can do a lot of really interesting stuff with him to just sort of keep your opponent at that mid-range and harass from a distance using Bola and all sorts of other stuff. Pretty solid AP gain. I think he's going to be a strong character for people who like Jack Drake. I think he's going to be a really welcome addition. And also just for fans of Dead Space, he's going to be really cool.
Awesome. Should we switch controllers now, and then I'll give you this controller, and I'll take that one
here.
And then
Zeus also at level 3. Zeus, as you see, is sort of a giant. Yeah, Zeus is basically one of the things that we had wanted to do was find a complement to sort of Big Daddy, because fighting games love their brawlers and their big, heavy guys. And Big Daddy is definitely in that category. We don't really have another character that's that kind of, heavy hitter.
Right.
So Zeus is all about that. So he does have some ranged options. You were showing off earlier. We've got some lightning bolts he can throw, and you can mash that for a quick 3-bolt strike. And he could do that sort of stuff from the air as well. So he's got a decent range game. You'll notice it doesn't have a huge range on it. So it's sort of a medium range projectile. But basically Zeus is a bruiser. He's a big, heavy hitter who will build a ton of AP. I'm going to turn back his... turn this off and then turn it back to normal, so you can see just how much AP he builds off single strikes. So this is all what he's got sort of off his square button. So he's got just sort of a regular 1-2, not too exciting. You get a little bit of eject there. He's got a rushing punch that you follow up with a little launcher there. That's all right as well. He's got a down strike that will send you up into the air, and also a little quick uppercut. But the thing to remember about Zeus, and what gives him actually one of the largest movesets when you look at it as a list in the game, is he can charge every move he has. So we saw this, and that's cool, and I can do little combos after it, so I can do like that. That's a cool little combo.
Right.
You like my sound effects there?
Yes.
Sounds much better in the game. Yeah, it's... So he's got like combo potential and things like that, but what he's really got is if this is the regular one, if I hold down the button, you'll get bam, and that's approximately 90 AP or something like that.
Yeah, you're building meter pretty quick here.
2 strikes, and you'll stay electrocuted, so I'm gaining AP the entire time. You've got those electrical effects on you. So that becomes really, really powerful, especially if you can catch 2 people with that in a group. So Zeus is able to build up a massive amount of AP very, very quickly by landing those strikes. And additionally, if you'll hit neutral square while I'm rushing at you, so I'm going to give the old rush punch and just hit neutral square.
Okay. Oop,
so go ahead and fire. Here it come. Yeah, you'll see I flash red briefly. It's because I have super armor on those attacks, so those attacks are able to suck up anything less than the biggest hit while it's coming at you. So you can't just pop him out of it. Because, whatever, it's the king of the gods here. He's coming at you with a rushing punch. You can't just slap him out of it. So he's got super armor on those attacks, much like Big Daddy has on some of his. So he's going to come powering through. And again, these moves in the air are very powerful as well. So he gets a nice charge on that towards it in the air, and you'll bounce off the wall, and you can find situational combos. And again, so things like this uppercut become, if you just hold the button, you get a giant uppercut, which you can combo. You can keep going with additional uppercuts there in the air, and instead of this, you get this. So you get massive stuff, and even just this little punch. Oh, and did I mention this as guard break? So if you happen to be trying to block the King of the Gods, that's also a mistake. So if you hold the block there, I will try and L1.
L1, yeah.
Yeah, and then so you're blocking in a clearly cowardly state.
Yeah.
So I just knock you straight out of your block. Bam. And I got my AP and my giant combo. So I've got super armor. I've got guard break on most of these square strikes. So Bam, and you can mix it up a little bit by... so I can do one that's not charged and then try and power up into a charged version on the second strike to keep you guessing a little bit. But yeah, Zeus is basically someone up close. He's going to be tough to beat. And that was just the square attack. So let's get to the triangle, which is, I think, one of his real money makers. So I've showed you neutral triangle before, which is these lightning bolts. You can also hold down that button for a single strike with a nice hitbox on it that will send your opponents flying. Yep. But the towards and triangle, up triangle, and down triangle are my favorites. So towards and triangle, and it's very reminiscent of like I always think of like the Emperor from Star Wars or something like die, which is very a godlike kind of move. And so I'm giving you the charge version. So he's got like a regular version, which has a sort of shorter hit reaction. But if you hold down the button, that was medium hold, and if you hold down the button all the way, you get that eject, so the bounce off the wall. And of course, this is a huge cone of effect, so you can really get people from quite a distance, and it's also very good at catching a lot of people in the same arc. So down is the same kind of thing, which is great from the air or great from platforms.
Right.
Zeus will rain down from above you. Up is what you might imagine, lightning strikes. Same kind of move in an up direction. That's very strong as well. That's, I think, going to be one of his real money makers just because it has such a nice cone. It's very hard to approach him through that. And if you get too close, he'll pound you. So you can also do it on the ground. The longer you hold it down, you'll get that kind of eject. This move is very reminiscent of Big Daddy. But I think Big Daddy would be happy to trade some of his moves for this baby. It's sweet stuff. Circle is where it gets a little more interesting. A little bit more subtle, the softer side of Zeus, if you will. He's able to clone himself here, and that clone has a hitbox on it. So if you try and attack the clone, there it didn't. There you go. You can just hit it, and it'll actually absorb hits, but it also will electrocute. Yeah, so it'll suck up the hit. You can also do a charge version of that, and then that'll give you a bigger effect. So again, you can charge that move up as well. But you can do things like I jump behind you, throw the clone, and then do little combos like that. So it basically sets people up, and they have to sort of deal with it. So it's a little thing that they have to worry about in the background. You can be tricky with it, whether it's in front or in back. That's that clone. This is also a reflect. So if you give me a shot like on neutral square, let me go. It'll basically, I'm at level 3 already, so you're not going to see the absorb, but that'll absorb your shots and give me AP for that. It doesn't bounce them back at you, but it basically is just powering me up. And then also, if you do a little double jump for me, yeah, down in circle is basically a lightning bolt strike that goes all the way up to the top of the screen. And if I hit you on the ground, you'll get a crumple, and I can combo you off that. But it's a nice vertical column for him. It hits pretty fast if you just do it quickly.
Yeah, let's see if we can get it there.
Yeah, so and you can harass you with that. I can just follow you around and trying to annoy you. It's a pretty fast move. It's good. It gives him a nice... so he's got good directionality on his moves. He's not too limited in any particular direction. So that's, I think, a really strong move as well. And, yeah, so he's got his Reflect, his Clone... And then, of course, this is his teleport, and this is a fully directional teleport. So this is up in circle, but after you tap up, you can push in any direction. So there I did tap up and then hold towards.
And unlike spikes or someone else's, it actually it damages you.
Yes, when I reappear, there's an electrical field around me. And that's a charge version, so if I wasn't so slow there, I'd combo you out of that. But it gives him a good amount of mobility, so I can jump around, come down to the ground very quickly, and it's a little bit of surprise, and then you get a little quick combo off that. It gives him a little bit of element of surprise, a little bit of subtlety. His foot speed is not the greatest, but yeah, he'll come at you pretty fast with different kinds of moves in the air. And of course, let's get to his supers.
Okay.
So we'll go for super level 1. This one's called the Thunderclap, and it's just as in life, you want to avoid the clap.
Very nice.
Set that one down. Yeah, I don't know where this kind of stuff comes from, but this is a nice super that's got really solid range on it for level 1, but it's fairly direct, so it's just coming at you. It's got a good hitbox. There, it's just a little out of range. There, it should be in range. So good area of effect, a good size hitbox. You can catch 1 or 2 people that are mixing it up there without too much problem. His level 2 basically sends him into the air and gives you a good degree of air mobility. And you'll see that timer at the bottom there. And then when it runs out, he'll explode. Or you can just trigger that anytime you want. And that's got a nice size hitbox. So that allows him to sort of fly around the screen rather quickly, get into the mix, and get a quick 2 or sometimes 3 kills if you're on point. And his level 3 is really what it's all about. So let's power up to level 3. And Issac took you into the dead space. Zeus, where is he going to take you? Of course, it's Olympus. And you see all the opponents will be cowering as the 100-foot Zeus emerges with the roar. And then what does he do here? Bam! You can smash the right side of the screen. That will basically destroy everybody there. Left side of the screen destroys everybody there. You can stay up in the air if they're trying to jump, or go down. Let's fire it off one more time and show the full range of attacks. Here he comes again.
I'll jump up here and see if we can show that one. Some of you explaining it the first time I saw it is like whack-a-mole kind of.
Sure, yes. And if you're on the ground, this is probably the real moneymaker. Everybody on the ground dies. So basically they have the option. You have like a 4-way guessing game of like left or right, up or down. And if you guess wrong in any one of those directions, Zeus will smash you.
Super powerful.
Yeah. So a bruiser who builds a lot of AP fairly quickly with some really effective... I think he's got overall really effective supers. Definitely stronger up close. A little bit of hint of medium range. This move, I think, in particular is going to be... You see it's just out of range there. That's just the very edge of the range. I didn't mash it full, but yeah, you can get like really great combos and great damage out of this if you can catch them the full way. So it's just out of range. But you'll catch a lot of people in massive things and you get the hard knockdown there. So we'll show off some of his throws. I like this one. Struck by a bolt of lightning on the way down and lose all your AP. But yeah, Zeus is a really solid up-close heavy hitter. If you like characters like Big Daddy or you just like being a big, tough, super armored King of the Gods, he's your man.
Right on. Thanks, Seth, for showing me both characters. We're going to stop this video now. We're going to play another session here, I guess free-for-all, so we can see the entire stage. So make sure to look for that on IGN or YouTube. Thanks for watching.